video, I'm going to be showing you the most adorable Grinch nails that are using the new Madam Glam collection. I will put all of the color names in the description box below, as well as my coupon code, so check there for that. But otherwise, these are on pretty short nails. This is about as short as I ever go. And even though they are at this length, the Grinch's face is prominent, easy to see, and very detailed. So this is a great tutorial if you're looking for something a little bit more advanced for short nails. I hope you like it, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well. So I'm going to begin by, on my index finger, I'm going to apply just a base coat of acrylic, a very thin layer to protect my natural nail and to help with adhesion. Now I'm going to apply Celestial Green, which is, look at the one coat coverage. Anytime I see a gel polish and it's got one coat coverage, I tell you I swoon. After that's cured, I'm going to take more clear acrylic and I'm going to embed these ghost glitters, these big star ghost glitters into that clear acrylic. So I'm just going to put really thin little sections down and I'm going to press those ghost glitters into place. What a ghost glitter is, because I don't know if that's a term everybody uses or if I just use it. I'm not even sure where I heard it or started using it from, but it's just a clear iridescent glitter. And when they have matte top coat over the top of them, they are just stunning. They look so cool. They create this beautiful there then gone effect. I love them, which is why I call them ghost, because at least to me, unless I heard it somewhere. Somebody tell me, once I used that term in a video, I said ghost glitter, and somebody's like, I've never heard that before. So then I was like, I don't know if that's just me. I don't know. Anywho, I call them ghost glitters. These are star ghosts. So we're going to, after I have all of the ghosts that I want in there, I'm going to encapsulate this nail with clear acrylic, making sure I very carefully get them completely covered. A lot of times with bigger glitters like this, especially if you were to be encapsulating with hard gel, the hard gel likes to like bead up and slide off of the glitter. So just be very cautious as you're encapsulating with whatever product you're using that you do get them all the way covered up. Now on all of my thumb, my middle, and my ring nails, I'm going to be applying a coat of the Celestial Green again. If you want to do 2 coats, you can, but really 1 coat is all that I feel like is needed here. Now using black gel paint, I'm going to be drawing out the facial outlines of my first Grinch. So this is going to be on my thumb, and I'm going to be making this one my kind of evil, malevolent Grinch. So I've got the nose that I'm going to start with in the center of the face. I feel like, or in the center of my nail. I feel like because that's the center of the face, it really helps balance out the position of everything else to start with the nose. I'm going to add the smile going down, then I'm going to add the eyebrows. And after I have the eyebrows done, I'm going to do the outlines of the eyes underneath that. Looking back and forth is really helpful from side to side, just to make sure that everything stays symmetrical. If at any point one element gets a little bit unbalanced, the whole thing is going to start to become that way. So make sure you double check it, and if you need to remove anything and start again, it's okay. Go ahead, just wipe it off and do it again. I'm going to fill in his eyes with yellow gel paint. That's going to give my gold kind of a nice boost from beneath. I'm going to fill in the cuff of the hat, or the brim of the hat, with white gel paint. That's going to be at the top of his head. And after I have that done, try to stay within your outlines. If they get messed up, you're going to fix them later. I'm going to use the color Christmas Essence, which will get a much bigger, you'll get to see it a lot better later, but that's the darker red from this collection, and I'm going to be using that for the hat, the little tiny bit that shows at the top. So now I'm going to be mixing the color Celestial Green, which is that original one that I used, with Vivid Green gel paint, which is a neon green gel paint. And I'm going to be doing that about 2/3 Celestial Green, 1/3 Vivid, and I'm going to be adding all kinds of highlights to my Grinch's face. Little bit like little brush strokes that I'm going to cure. Now I'm going to mix this again. I'm going to do it to be 1/3 Celestial Green and 2/3 Vivid Green, so it's brighter. And I'm going to add another coat of highlights. Each time I highlight, I'm going to be covering less space. So the first time I almost covered the whole green space of the nail besides the nose. This time I'm going to be covering a much smaller area. I'm going to use the color Inner Light over the eyes. That is the gold glitter. It is so pretty, so pretty. And then Joy, which is the red glitter over the little bit of hat that shows. Now I'm going to take straight Vivid Green. So this is going to be the brightest option that we have, and I'm going to be adding another layer of highlights, this time very narrow, very small amount really of this Vivid Green that's going to be there on its own, just small little skinny lines here and there to make certain areas of the design really pop. It is a technique using these like layering of the different colors that makes the design so much more dimensional. I'm going to use Christmas Essence, the red again, to add the pupil inside his eyes. And now going back to my black gel paint, I'm going to make sure that I have all of my outlines where they need to be. They more than likely will get covered up in the process of adding all the different layers of green. They're going to get, either slightly or completely gone. So just go back through and replace them wherever they need to be fixed. Add them back in if you didn't do all the little details. Like I didn't do the little lines under his eyes before. I also didn't add the little dots for the whiskers on the cheeks because I knew that they wouldn't stay. I knew that I would end up covering them up eventually and that there wouldn't be any point in leaving them there because I would have to do them again. Now I'm going to do the same basic process on my middle finger, starting with adding the outlines of all of his facial features. I do want to mention that because this one is happy, there are little differences in the facial features, obviously, to make him look happy versus sad. His nose isn't totally outlined. I don't know why, but that's just the way that it is in all of the cartoons pretty much that I've looked at, is that the nose is fully outlined when he's angry and not when he is happy. So don't create a full box around the nose. There's a difference entirely in the eye shape. Then he's got his eyebrows are a different shape. His mouth, his smile lines are all different. And I'm going to be adding the little outlines for his hat. The first time I did it, I made just a bumpy line like I did on the first one. Then I realized it's not. It's a smooth line here. Little differences that just make him have a completely different feeling, you know? And now I'm going to use my same combinations of green, starting with 1/3 vivid green and 2/3 celestial green. This is the darker of the different mixes. I'm going to go through and basically cover everything up just like I did before. When you are covering it up though, don't make it completely smooth. As you can see, I've got brush strokes that are still visible. Those brush strokes are going to make him look furry. So don't hate on the brush strokes. I know a lot of times with different art, you're like, oh no, I can see the brush strokes. Use them to your advantage. Fill in his eyes with white gel paint and that little bit of hat that shows at the very cuticle area of the nail with the white gel paint. And now using 1/3 celestial green and 2/3 vivid green, I am going to be adding the next layer of my highlights. This technique is a great one to practice with gel polish because once you apply top coat, a lot of the little lines that you see beforehand disappear and you can create some very, very beautiful nail art with this layering, progressively mixing color style. Just like before, the last thing I'm going to do is just my vivid green, add those highlights right where you want them. Any place I felt like I really wanted it to stand out, that's where I'm going to be placing these highlights. So around his smile, around his eyes, around his nose, all of those areas, basically where you have a black line, I'm going to be highlighting it with the vivid green. Now using Magic Night, which is a dark blue, I am going to be adding the pupils in his eyes and then going back with my black gel paint, touching up all of those lines just like before, fixing them up, adding the ones that weren't there yet. The case of the ones that I didn't do originally on this design is I didn't give him his eyelashes because, again, they would just get covered up. There's a few little hairlines that go over the edge of his hat. I didn't do those originally. And same thing with the little polka dots on his cheeks for his whiskers. I didn't put those in either. And those little polka dots on the cheeks, you know, depending on where you see your Grinch imagery, sometimes he has them and sometimes he doesn't. Personally, I think they are a cute little touch to have those in there. I think they add a lot just to, you know, his general recognizability. You know, I think of him with having them, so I like to put them in, but if you don't like them, skip them. Using Christmas Essence on the ring finger, I'm going to be adding 2 stripes, and then using Joy, I'm going to be covering up the darker red with the glitter. If you just go straight to the glitter, some of the green is going to show through. That red underneath is just to kind of give it a smooth base. Now with yellow gel paint, I am going to be adding those yellow stripes going across. This is going to be for the gold stripes. This is the same yellow gel paint. It's going to give you the same look as the gold on his eyes on the thumb. If I wasn't trying to match the eyes on the thumb, I probably wouldn't do the yellow underneath, but because I do want it to match, I am. Otherwise, I feel like the gold would work well enough with the green underneath it that you wouldn't necessarily need the yellow. It wouldn't be quite as bright and it wouldn't match the eyes. So that's why I ended up adding it. But I feel like in this particular one, you wouldn't have had to if you weren't trying to match something else. And now with white gel paint, I'm going to be adding thin lines in between the yellow and the red lines, just to add a little bit more striping. I love it when a striped Christmassy nail includes both thicker and thin stripes. I feel like that adds so much. On my pinky, I'm going to be applying a coat of the Christmas Essence, and I have some glitter from my previous set encapsulated in that nail. It's going to get covered up, so it doesn't matter. Then I'm going to add a coat of Joy on top. It is so pretty. These colors look absolutely amazing in the sun. And then after I have all of that done, I'm going to be applying some glossy gel top coat on my pinky, and then the rest of the nails are going to get some matte top coat. So all of the nails that started out with a coat of the celestial green, the darker green as the base, are getting matte top coat at this moment. So just go ahead and apply that to all of them. And then the areas that are glittery, go through and apply some glossy top coat to just those ones. So I'm going to do that over the hat and the eyes on my thumb, and then over the stripes on the ring finger. The middle finger and the index finger are going to stay entirely matte. That will be the best for their general appearance. Characters, I always feel like look the best when they're matte, and they definitely photograph the best when they're matte. But otherwise, here is the final design. I love the mix of different types of glitters and the Grinch face, and the technique of slowly building up to that neon makes him look almost like he's glowing from within, and it is such a cool effect. I hope you like it as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to my future videos as well.